Hey there, EverlongMystic here. So, look what came in the mail yesterday. Ta-da! All right, so we're going to look at the Deep, Dark, and Dangerous Oracle. Hopefully, I'm really hoping that these cards will be similar size to her other decks so that they can be easily blended together and stuff. But we're gonna take a look. Now, first, I want to tell you that the texture, there's a texture to the box, okay? I don't know if you could see in the light, but it's like a snake. It's like a snake skin texture over the whole box, which is super cool. Now, let's just open it. Well, now let's read the back. All right, so it's the Deep, Dark, and Dangerous Oracle. And it says here, what if by stepping into the realm of the monsters and the things that go bump in the night, what seems twisted and dangerous is actually a torch leading us out of the darkness into divine wholeness. Very cool. So there's all kinds of things in here, supposedly. Valkyries, vampires, Selkies, Sibyls, all kinds of cool stuff. There's deep creatures, dark goddesses and gods, and dangerous heroes and shadows. Dun, dun, dun. You can hear the texture. All right. I'm so excited. I hope this is as dark and dangerous as it portrays so far. All right, of course we have a guidebook, yay. So yeah, it goes over all the cards, so we'll probably read a couple of them. Oh, I saw the word werewolf. Ooh. Okay, we don't need that. All right. Okay, so here, ooh, look at the back of the cards. They're black with a lovely snake. Hey, Holly, how are you? So they're black, and they also they're glossy. They do have an image of the snake skin in the background in gray. See that? And what's cool is it's got red on the sides here. Very nice. Okay, so let's go through the deck. And it's perfect timing to get this because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do for my mid to late October series, and I think I'm going to use this deck. All right, so. Ooh. So we have, the first card I'm pulling out is card 44, and it's the Mischief card, and it says Puka. Oh, and now we have the cover art here. And this is Medusa, and it's the card of injustice. Oh, nice. Look, so the next we have the Valkyrie card. And it's a card of choice. Oh, I don't know. I think I want to read this one. It's card 41. And it's called it's Disconnection, but I don't know. It's AOSSI, AOC. I don't know what that is. So let's look at the book on that one. All right, so it's the disconnection card. It says respect the land and especially the land you live upon. Find comfort and joy in the changing of the seasons and the green places you come in contact with. Protect and defend Mother Earth. Before you attack someone, make sure you have all sides of the story. So it does talk about duality, attack versus defense, connection versus disconnection. So, oh, okay. Ace, she. That's what it is. It's a she. And the SI right here is, it's like the Alvin word she, SIDHE, as far as it says, yeah, they're fae or fae like creatures from Celtic and Gaelic mythos. Most likely, they are the ancestors of the Tuatha De Danann, an ancient Celtic mythical race of deities, or the people of the goddess Danu, who are mentioned in the complex world of Irish mythos. Huh. Man, there's a whole, I mean, there's like paragraphs describing the card. Oh, and at the very end, it does give a plant companion and a crystal companion. So this card here is the plant is foxglove and the crystal is amethyst. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Next we have, oh, nice. So we have Sphinx here, and it's the card of gratification. I almost wonder how gratifying it would be to pet a hairless cat. I don't know. I've never tried it. All right. So we have the next one. Ooh, this one looks interesting. So this one is card 39, and it is Sheila Nagig. I don't even know what that is, but it's the card that the keyword is boundary. So what's Sheila Nagig? Let's see, 39. It says here that Sheilas, as they are affectionately referred to, are depictions of the mighty crone who helps us protect our boundaries and allow joyous gateways to those we wish to let through. Sheila Nagig guards windows, gates, doors, and entrances of all kinds. Wow. So she protects gateways. That's pretty cool. All right. Ooh, look at this. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. It's like a moss wolf. Oh, weird. I'm looking at the camera. It looks like I've got a flame and a reflection of the flame, and it looks like I have two, like a ghost candle in my candle. All right. This is pretty cool. This is focused. This whatever this is totally focused. But I love that it's got all these like orbs and stuff in here. All right. Okay, so we have wow, this card is just called Fetch, and it's the mirror card. Hey Nun Nun, how are ya? Oh, here's a kitty. Oh, it's the cat. Is that the cat she? Oh my gosh, this is so cool. This looks totally like the cat she. And the cat she, I believe, is what the cat she is basically where the black cat symbol came from for Halloween and such. You're supposed to Halloween night. You're supposed to give an offering to the cat she of cream. I think cream and catnip or something. Wait, it says focus, but wasn't. Wait, there's another card. This one says focus too. Oh, that's interesting. So we have a dog and a cat version of keyword focus. Now, I don't know if that's a typo or there's supposed to be two cards with the same keyword. Huh. All right. Oh, this is interesting. So we have Harpy here, and it's the chaos card. But I mean, it doesn't look that chaotic, I don't think. But I don't know. I don't know what Harpy is. So let's see. What's Harpy? Okay, it says the origins of the Harpies were associated with the elements of air and wind. The most destructive winds were caused by the Harpies and always brought with them terror and chaos. Traditionally, Harpies flew. They were a woman bird hybrid at great speeds and came crashing through the air with no warning. The Harpies in the oldest mythos were ugly and fierce, with claws, bird wings, terrible voices, and sharp teeth, and they were always hungry. Well, that sounds like a monster. It says Zeus himself would send the Harpies to torment those who deserved it. And the stories featuring Harpies often included them punishing those who had starved their families. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. All right, so malachite is the crystal for that. So this, don't let this don't let this pleasant image sway you. This is actually kind of a frightful card. I don't know that I'd want that to come up in my reading. Oh, you just saw that on Ancient Aliens? Oh, wow. Jormungandr, no way. Check it out. Where's Russell? We have Jormungandr here. And it talks about cycles. It says the keyword is cycles. It says Jormungandr and Midgard serpent. Wow, that is freaking cool. How cool is that? Okay, so far, like I think the cat she and this one are my favorite cards so far. All right. Ooh, what is this? Oh, cool. There's a banshee. I think we've all heard of like a screaming banshee, but you can see that this figure here, she's covering her ears. But it's the card of grief. That's the keyword is grief. Kind of reminds me of that Yorona story. Ooh, okay. So I always forget how to pronounce this word. I think is it chimera, but it's the synergy card. But I really look at this. So we've got this lion, a fierce face, right? And then there's like this ram, also fierce faced, and then a snake. It's like the tail is the snake. There's something ancient about there's something ancient about this card, and also just from what I know about the chimera, it's like something that is unattainable. I always thought it was something that was like unattainable. I don't know, not like I don't know if it's like a pipe dream, but like something that's unbeatable somehow. I don't know. Oh, I don't know who this is. Oh my gosh, it's the Vengeance card. Is it Irenaeus? Irenaeus? She kind of looks like she's trying to summon something. Myrmidon, no way. Look at this. Okay, so it's discipline. It's the discipline keyword card, and it's the Myrmidon. I remember reading about them when I was in high school. I mean, they do look, it does look kind of soldiery here. I'm almost wondering if there might be something about like following or like a herd mentality kind of thing. I don't know. Oh yes, werewolf. Gotta love a werewolf, right? All right, so and it's a card of change, right? Man, the one behind him, like the one up front, just looks kind of just cartoony-ish, but the one behind it looks a little scary. Oh, and we have vampire, werewolf, and vampire together, back to back. And the vampire card is the hunger card. It's interesting how it almost looks like this vampire. It's like not necessarily like in a coffin or something, but it almost looks like he's in a, maybe it's a tomb, but it looks like a big bowl or something. Like he's sitting inside a big bowl, and then there's someone peering over the bowl into like the pain of his hunger somehow. Oh, look at this. So this is the loneliness card, and it says Lemure. Loneliness, but it's ghosts in sheets. I don't understand that because that's not. Okay, so we're going to look in the book on this one. Why are there people in sheets? Okay, so the ancient Romans had a name for spirits that were lonely and wandering, lemures. These were not benevolent spirits because of the disrespect shown to their corpses. Oh, they were mad. Burial rites had not been arranged, and it was said that the living had forgotten them, or the manner of their deaths meant that they could not go in peace and were restless. The poet Ovid described them as potentially vengeful. There were complex, placating rites that every household knew to perform, called the Lemuria, that kept any lemures at bay and kept them satisfied and benevolent towards the family. Hmm. So, so these spirits here, people were afraid of them, but the spirits themselves were a little bit afraid themselves. Hmm. It says here the most malevolent lemures were those who were seeking revenge or asking for someone to atone for a crime committed against them. If justice could be done, in these cases, the lonely lemures would be able to stop their wanderings and eventually seek the underworld. That would be so cool if like this came out in a reading and then Justice came out with tarot. That would be awesome. All right, what's next here? Oh, the Morrigan. Nice. So can't leave out the Morrigan, right? And there's feathers. You gotta have feathers with a Morrigan. And this is about sovereignty. I like that sword just going through the page. I actually really like the fact that you don't see the tip of the sword either. It's just the blade right here. Oh, Anubis. Nice. So it's the card. The keyword is respect. And we have Anubis here. And he has his weapons. He's ready to go. Ready to go. Hey, Rebel Star. Kali. Oh, sweet. Yeah, you cannot have a dark deck without Kali. Look at that. Cannot have. Oh, and it's the card of love. That's absolutely perfect for Kali. Dark, intimidating, but very effective and full of love. That's Kali. I love it. Ooh, I don't know how to pronounce this. I think it's Circe. Is it Circe? I don't know. Circe. This is the alchemy card. Card number 23. So I'm not sure who Circe is. So I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read the little backdrop here. Okay, I'm just gonna keep saying Circe because I don't know how to pronounce it. So feel free to correct me, please. Circe is probably one of the most intriguing deities within all Greek mythos. I know, right? Is she a Lannister? Born of the god of the sun, the Titan Helios, and the ocean nymph Perse, she became one of the greatest sorceresses, herbalists, and potion makers in the ancient world. Misunderstood and feared, it was said that she was beautiful and had eyes like all of Helios' children of bright, shining gold. The myth that most people recognize about Circe is that of her home on the island of Aiaia. I can't pronounce that. Full of tame beasts such as huge lions, wolves, massive pigs. When Odysseus arrives, he marvels at this graceful woman alone, except for those huge creatures, but soon realizes that the creatures are all formerly men, whom Circe has transformed into beasts. With the potion and his crew are some of them. Hmm. So it's something to do with. I mean, there's a lot. I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on with this card because there's a lot of different themes. Because some of it has to do with the assumption that any sorceress is just bad, and it's not necessarily. I'm definitely going to read up more on this when I'm done here. That's an interesting card. Oh, another wolf-like creature. Oh my gosh, I can't pronounce this either. I'm like learning so many new words. All right, so card 22. It's the card of service, and I'll probably butcher this. Mamorlakia? Mamorlakia? Here, let me look at that image though. The image is very intriguing. It's like he's got like carvings on his kind of third eye to snout area. What is this? Oh, this is important. It says service does not mean servitude. And I think that's something that I don't know if any of you watch Untitled Tarot. Lauren, she used to say this all the time. Service does not mean servitude. It says service should not be blind or bind you. Do not give your time to people who do not appreciate you. Justice will be done. Okay, so it says the Marmalakia were female demons of the underworld associated with Hecate. The term can be translated to mean terrible wolves. Hey, Greenleaf, how are you? It says there is confusion about what they actually were. Some scholars believe that they could be as benevolent as the boogeyman used to scare children into being good, or completely at the other extreme, blood sucking shapeshifters who preferred young men to eat. We just don't know. So it says, what does it say? It's relating it to Hecate. Okay, so in the last paragraph it says, if indeed these Marmalakia were the monsters they were made out to be, these women who were vampiric and took the form of beautiful seductresses, then their victims may not have been all love and light either. Not always is being of service easy. Not always is finding justice easy. And that's just like this other, it's like this one too. Or, no, what was the one with the justice card? I don't remember. All right. Oh, you're welcome, Greenleaf. Oh, right after that, Hecate. Perfect. Flaming Hecate. You know, if I were to just imagine what Hecate looks like, I wouldn't necessarily depict this. I wouldn't necessarily pick this image. I mean, it's appropriate, but probably not what I would pick. I do like the kind of swirling chaos behind the person here. And it's the card of illumination, and really the most illuminated thing here is the key on the necklace she's wearing. Ooh, okay, this is kind of intriguing. Um, it's the Hypnose card, and the keyword is rest. It's card number 20. Gosh, and it reminds me of that show. What's the name of that show on Netflix where the guy, is it Netflix? I don't even know if it's Netflix. Where it's this guy, he's like the king of the dreams. All right. Ooh, Nyx. Darkness. So the keyword here is darkness. This one is interesting. I'm gonna read this because the card kind of doesn't really look that dark. I mean, it seems like it's super freaking magical. And you have like this kind of temperancy vibe coming in, with the blue and the orangey red. You know what I mean? I don't know, like something like a perfect storm, or I don't know, man. Yeah, Sandman. Yeah, that's what I don't know why, but as soon as I looked at this card, I thought Sandman. Or I didn't think it. I saw his face. I saw the face of that character, Sandman. All right, let's read about this darkness. This Nyx. Nyx. Is that how you pronounce it? Just Nyx? What number is this? 19. I'm trying to skip it. Hi, David. How are you? All right, so it says here the darkness is necessary. It's the place of possibility and rest. It is natural and beneficial to experience some cycles of darkness. Ooh, and I just did a series on cycles of light and darkness. So cool. You can illuminate your way through dark times. Not everything unpleasant is evil. Man, I cannot stress how important that freaking sentence is. I will read it again. Not everything unpleasant is evil. Thank you. All right. So it's Kelly. Hey, Kelly. All right. So it says here the embodiment of the night is the goddess Nyx. She was one of the primordial or original deities emerging at the very beginning of the universe. Her fathers were Chaos or Phanes. I don't even know how to say that. One of the oldest gods. She fell in love with Erebus, darkness, and created Aether, light, and Hemera, day. She self created the infamous three fates. Oh my gosh. She self created the infamous three fates, as well as the, I don't know, Apate, Dolos, Nemesis, Carries. There's all kinds of things here. She created balance, retribution. She created misery, doom, nightmares, sleep. Oh my gosh, it says Hypnose. Wait a minute. What's that other card? Hypnose. Hypnose means sleep. Sandman. Uh-huh. All right. Okay, so all kinds of stuff. There's like two paragraphs full of everything that she created. So she is one of the oldest and strongest of the Greek deities. Even stronger than Zeus? Huh. So this is interesting. It says, looking at most of her progeny, it would be easy to think that Nyx is evil or that her darkness could have a negative judgment. Nyx should not be viewed this way. Winged and winged and beautiful, Nyx is simply the night. No judgment on whether that is better than the day. Paradoxically, she creates light and day. She brings balance with Nemesis, Philotes, and the Caries. She brings rest with Hypnos and Thanatos. Nyx just represents the darker nature of how the world works. I freaking love this card. Oh my gosh. I love that. Exactly, Holly. She's like the original badass. Ooh. Let me get a little drink of coffee here. So I'm very curious which cards are going to come out for which signs, because I'm definitely using this deck in my next series. Okay. Ooh, I don't know who this is. Charon, Charon. It's the reciprocity card, and it is a hooded person, but it's yellow. You know, it almost looks like a raincoat. And check it out. So there's all these keys. Can you see up top? There's a bunch of keys floating or hanging at the very top. It reminds me of the Hermit card in the Good Tarot. There's all these keys. And see, he's in a boat too. That's pretty interesting. Ooh, Minotaur. He looks a little rough. Okay, so we have the Minotaur. There's something in the background there. It's like a woman in a white gown, but she has something over her head. This is the Compassion card. All right, so what's the association with Minotaur and compassion? Oh my gosh, this is a really long story. I'm not going to read this whole thing. Okay, I'm just going to read the last the last paragraph. It says, literally, the Minotaur was the embodiment of the dark part of the family, or a person's own consciousness that lives hidden and that no one really wants to see. So really like a shadow. Huh. So it's like having, I don't know, compassion for your own shadow or the shadow of others. I mean, it's good advice. Yeah, it looks like a tunnel. Goes down forever. Oh, we have Persephone. Ta-da! Oh, look at that. Oh, I love this. So you've got Persephone here, and you've got like this portal or window between whatevers. And on the outside with the snow and ice, you have like this really creepy. Can you see it? Can you see that creepy individual? It's not focusing. And this is the card of the journey. Persephone, the journey. Well, most of us know what happened with Persephone and where she went, and ooh, the loyalty card. Okay, card 15. It's about loyalty, and it's what is it? Mithras? I don't know. Is the M silent? It's like he was once stone and is turn like the stone is breaking free somehow. He's breaking free from the stone. I don't know, none. It seems like, I mean, I think that's the point. It seems like that's the point of this deck is to like to get people to question that. All right, we have a mermaid here. A mermaid is the beauty card. Now, where have I seen that before? Mermaid beauty. I know, let's see. It's either in her elemental deck or the Queen of the Moon deck. There's a beauty card that's not a mermaid, but there's a mermaid. I don't know. This is reminding me of another card from her deck, from one of her decks. See, this is also interesting. I could see getting like if this came out in a reading, I could see getting tons of information from it because you've got like the whole like above water scene here with the ship is on her head. You got the storm going on. That's like one thing, right? The storm is one thing, the ship on her head, that can mean something else. And then we have the fact that she is a mermaid. Then you have down here this whole underwater where it's really calm. I can see getting a lot of information from this card just by using it in a reading. Very cool. Sybil. Oh, is it Sybil or Sigil? It's Sybil, but like, look at the. I don't know. It feels like there's some kind of like, like spells or magic going on in this card. Her eyes are closed, and I want to say she's sitting down just by the way her arms are crossed. But there's all these. I mean, there's crows. There's all these symbols, and there is a castle in the sky. Isn't there a word for that? Dang it. I remember one of Patrick's latest readings. He even explained to me what the word meant because I didn't know the word. About a castle in the sky, like imagining something in the sky. Oh, and this is the key word on this one is foresight. Ooh. Okay, the fear card. Okay, so the keyword is fear. It's card number 12. And it's I want to say Apuk. It's Ahpuch. I think there's different versions of this name. Let's look that one up. Why don't we read about it? And I do apologize if I'm mispronouncing any of these words. Again, feel free to correct me in the comments later. Okay. So it's Mayan. Apuk, the Mayan god of the dead. Okay. All right, it says here, I'll just start at the beginning. You must understand your fears if you can. Stand strong against your fear. Fear is a natural and useful emotion as it protects you. What doesn't are fears that are not real. You must learn that not all fears are real. Some fears you carry are not your own. Confront fears. Death is a part of life. It says that there are some gods who truly are frightening, and this is part of the work they do. Apuk, the Mayan god of the dead, is one of these deities. He comes out of his underworld home, the nastiest of the 9 levels of hell, called Mitnal, stretches his skeletal body and smiles his sharp, white-toothed grin. Then he begins to make his way through the human village along pathways. It says he wears bells and a headdress of human bones, but he's not hiding his presence as he walks along. He's noisy, he could be seen. So he doesn't like sneak up on you, like he's coming or something. And he's proud of the fact that he can induce fear. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right, so last paragraph. Standing strong against any fear, feeling it, shining the light on it, confronting it, those are all lessons from Apuk. It is better to know precisely what the fear is when we hear the bells, so we actually know specifically what we are afraid of. Not knowing what we are actually afraid of or simply entertaining nebulous fear is worse. Very cool. I'm actually very glad this deck includes a fear management card. What? It's Rock Robster. What you doing here? We're looking at a dark deck, Rob. And it's by the creator of your all-time favorite deck. It's Stacey Demarco. All right, so card number 11, we have Hydra, and it's the regeneration card. Looks very Clash of the Titans. All right. Blessings. I cannot. I can't pronounce any of these words. Gunakadiet. Don't knock it if you tried it. I don't know what. I don't know how to say that. So let's read about it. It's the blessings card, so that sounds good, right? Gunakadiet. Ooh. It says look deeper. Something that may seem like a curse is actually a blessing. Yeah, ain't that the truth? Truth finds a way to be told you are loved and protected. So, I mean, you could also just trade it for that Moonology card. You and your loved ones are safe. All right. The Tlingit people have a deep, beautiful myth concerning a creature called, it has a pronunciation, Gunakadate. Gunakadate. Okay. Gunakadate. A young man, I don't want to read the whole story. All right, Kid swims with a monster. Yeah, there's a long story, so you're gonna have to buy the deck and read the story yourself because it's too long of a story to read right here. But the crystal companion for this card is Labradorite, which is really cool because my Labradorite is a little scary. All right. Cerberus Guardians. Ooh, look at these Guardians here. I kind of like that. It's kind of funny. I don't feel intimidated by this card. Why? I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like I seriously do not feel intimidated by this card, even though obviously it looks like it could be threatening, scary. I mean, even with the dogs, the glowing eyes and stuff. I don't know. Is that a trick? Hey, Steph, how are you? All right, let's read about this. I don't know. I don't know why I'm getting something that's doesn't feel as bad as it looks or something. 9. So the keyword is guardians. And the first sentence talks about boundaries. It says develop strong and healthy boundaries. Respect the boundaries of others. Not all places or people are for you or should be available to you. Truth. Okay. At the gates of the underworld, there lies a huge hound. He yawns, 3 yawns, for he has 3 massive heads. The hound sniffs the air, like scented. He sniffs the air and turns languidly to see his master, Hades, walking towards him. Now, why is the dog of Hades not making me feel scared? Oh dear, okay. The hound rises and stretches and happily rubs each of his 3 heads on his beloved master's body. His spiked tail wags. Hades pats the head of his guardian at the gates, knowing all will be well because Cerberus is watching. There's a saying that we don't deserve dogs, and I, for one, believe this is a fine truth. Even if we are speaking of the hound of Hades, a hellhound, Cerberus is possibly one of the most written about dogs of any ancient world and appears in many stories. Blah, blah, blah. He's a dog with a job, and he guards the gateway to the underworld to ensure that none of the dead leave the realm. Huh. And then there's a whole big thing about the story of the dogs. Hmm. And the stone for this card is obsidian, and that makes total sense. All right. Ooh, resilience. More snake. Now, wait a minute here. We already had the cover card was Medusa. Where is she? So we already had Medusa, snakes on her head. So now we have another something with snakes on their head, and it's Scylla. I don't know what's the difference between Medusa and Scylla. I mean, I'm just looking at the images. I don't really know the story behind this. So let's just look it up since we're doing that. Scylla. Oh, from the Odyssey. Scylla guards one side of the rough and narrow waters opposite Charybdis, another monster. So is she a monster? Is she not a monster? We'll have to read the story. Okay, I don't know. She seems, I mean, it's the card of resilience, and she seems like she's totally like upset about something. So maybe she's not really a monster. She just looks like one. And we have Hades. Ta-da! All right, so this card is the keyword is the underworld, and this is the Hades card. It's weird. I mean, it doesn't look like it's underworld. I don't know. It looks like otherworld. I don't know. What do you think? Oh my gosh! Hell! Check it out. There's a hell card. Hell. She's here. She's here, and she's very beautiful. It's the card of acceptance. I really like this card. And look, she has like this cool necklace of skulls here. I like there's a hell card. All right, let's read about it. Let's read. Because thanks to Russell, a lot of us have been introduced to her. Let's see, what number? 6. So it's the card of acceptance, right? Okay, so it says things can never stay the same. Change must be accepted. Be flexible, keep walking through difficult circumstances. Do not stop and get stuck. Acceptance allows you to move on faster. Surrender what is no longer yours. And then it talks about, let's see, it's talking about Norse, Odin, Valhalla. Okay, so if you don't go to Valhalla with Odin, you could end up with hell. So hell was hell was both a goddess and a place. Hell, the goddess, was a giant, the daughter of Loki. Blah blah blah. We already know this. Oh, okay. It says here when people died in a not particularly courageous way, they went to be with hell, a kind of benevolent middle place. So like hell, like middle hell. I don't know. Is there a word for that? Where are my Norse buffs here? Okay, it says the Norse people simply practice their beliefs by taking right action in accordance with the stories and rituals passed down through the generations, and the idea of going to hell was part of this. There was a deep understanding and acceptance of dying as a part of life, although a person shouldn't die in vain or in a cowardly manner. Virtue and living a good life in service to the society and gods ensured that death could be accepted and a new life in the afterworld begun. All right. Yeah, I think I mentioned something in there about going to Valhalla so you can be with Odin, or going to Freya's Hall. Did Freya's Hall have a name, Rob? Or was it just Freya's Hall? Oh my gosh, what is this? Kelpie? And it's a warning. This is a confusing card. Okay, this is really confusing. Look at this. So it's like some kind of horse covered in kelp. And then there's a person. I don't know if they're like part of it or riding it or what. But it actually looks kind of magical and pretty, but it's the warning card. So maybe it's one of those like all that glitters kind of messages or something. Volkfang. Now I like that word. Volkfang. That's Freya's Hall. Okay. Oh, Russ, did you get to see the the Hell card? Oh, and earlier, hey Russell, happy birthday again, even though it was yesterday. So there's a card that I called out. Where's Russell? When it came out. Where is it? It's towards the beginning. Where's the Russell card? I don't see it. I don't know, but it's Jormungandr. There's a Jormungandr card. All right. So we're gonna read about Kelpie because I have no idea what a Kelpie is. I mean, I've heard of a plushie, but probably not the same thing. Yeah, I like Remus Hell better too, Russ. All right, number 5. Oh, a Kelpie like Loch Ness. Oh, all right. So, Kelpie, if you are given a warning, let's put the card here so you can see it. If you are given a warning, you should heed it. If someone shows you who they are, believe them. Understand your current limitations, yet extend your skills. Your intuition may be asking you to be aware of a danger, so pay heed. It says most people would be familiar with the most famous of water kelpies. That word just sounds wrong. All right, that of the one that lives in Loch Ness in Scotland. All right, a kelpie is a shapeshifter, normally one that changes from its more monstrous form in the water into a land-based animal like a black horse, and pretty much every decent-sized body of water in Scotland has a kelpie attached to it. It's like a water spirit of some sort. The word kelpie itself comes from the Gaelic word Collapich, meaning colt. The kelpie has hooves, but they are backward facing, and sometimes the kelpies sing haunting songs that are very pleasing to the ears, so to lure their prey. Oh my gosh, don't get sucked in by a kelpie, man. All right, but what's the light in the darkness here? Okay, so there's a whole story of a myth that you can read about if you get the deck. All right, so last paragraph. Kelpies, although revered and considered to be beautiful, were to be avoided if possible. They were the embodiment of danger and the unknown inherent in the depths of water, and a reminder that we humans can lose our lives quickly if we don't pay the situation enough respect. Wow. Okay, so if this card comes out in a reading, pay real good attention to the message. I am going to heed that warning with that card. Well, like you can see the horse's head right here. It is a little bit freaky with the whole reversed hoof thing. But I learned something new. Kelpie. That is a sea monster in Scotland. All right, what is next? Dragon. Ah. Okay. Oh, cool. It's the treasure card. I like that. So we have dragon here, and the keyword is treasure. I feel like I don't think I'm going to read this card. I'm not going to read this card because I feel like there is some. I feel like this is like one of those cards that when it comes out in a reading, it only comes out every once in a while. and it has some kind of real significant meaning, but only through reading or channeling or something. So I'm not even going to read this card. I feel like this could have different meanings depending on who's what you're reading on or who's doing the. I don't know. So I'm just gonna. I'll show it to you again, but I'm not gonna read this card. Oh, you saw Kelpie heads, Russell? Were you in Scotland, or do you just know of them? Your husband used to reverse the boots on your Santa Claus, Santa Kelpie. Oh, it's a new sculpture. Ah, speaking of Kelpie, we have Kraken. Now we have another sea monster. Release the Kraken. And what I think is really cool, again, is a keyword mystery. Kraken and mystery go very well together. And it does also seem like another multi level card like the mermaid. Where's the mermaid? Here. So, what I was saying with the mermaid card, how you can get a lot of information just from like the different levels of the card and what's going on here, here, underneath here. So the same thing kind of with the Kraken is, again, we've got sea level, the sea, well, not sea level, I guess that's sea level where the air meets the sea. But we've got a stormy sky, right? We've got some kind of ship going on, and then we have what's actually happening underneath. I kind of like that. This Kraken looks like it's sleeping. I wonder if this Kraken totally changes when when it wakes up. You know what I mean? Because a sleeping Kraken doesn't really look that threatening, but it's a freaking Kraken, right? Ooh, what is this? Selkie. Selkie. It's like a human seal thing. I'm very excited. I like deep, dark, and dangerous. All right, so this, what is a Selkie? Let's see. Kraken, that Kraken had too much to drink. They're sleeping it off. Kelpie, Selkie. Sure these aren't made up names? No, I'm just kidding. All right, Selkie. Ooh, okay. It's the freedom card, but there might be a little bit of tough love in here. It says you can only pretend for so long before you must find truth again. Seek authenticity. Containing yourself in a form that is not your own is rarely successful long term. Be aware someone may be deceiving you under false pretenses. So, Selkie mythos is shared in the places where the sea is a truly dominant force and where colonies of seals live, like the Shetlands and other Scottish islands, the Faroes, Norway, Iceland. There's a lot of stories. Da-da-da-da. All right, the essence of the Selkies is the idea of the triumph of authenticity over pretense and containment. Also, the deep pull of the wild self. After all, if the Selkies got their true skins back, they did not hesitate to leave the human world behind, and that included even leaving their own children. So there's a whole story here that I'm not going to read, but interesting enough, right? Oh, it's the last card. Last card, huh? And it's Shadow. Shadow. We all know what that is. You know, I think it's super awesome that there's a figure and there is a pureness right here. And the shadow is kind of like this black smoke all around. I do like the black smoke around here. All right, I'm not going to read that one. We all know about Shadow. Depressed Kraken. All right, this is the Deep, Dark, and Dangerous Oracle deck. There's no Cthulhu card, Rob. No Cthulhu. It is nice that there was a Kraken. I was really excited to see the werewolf and Kali. Of course, Anubis. But I actually learned a few new words and a few new stories of things I didn't really pursue before. So, have you heard of this, Rob? It's the Kusi. This one looks really cool. It's like I don't, did I read that one? Maybe I didn't. Let's see. Number 38. Did I read it? No, I did not. Okay. So it says everyone craves a level of safety, yet this level is different for all. Be aware of the risks in a current situation before making your decision. Listen to warnings if you are given them right now. Watch and act on red flags. Okay. So if you are walking the wilds of the Scottish Highlands, you might recognize, depending on where you go, that it's risky. The weather could be bad, you can fall off a rock, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the Kushi. All right. That was my childish brain laughing. It's not a funny word. So the Kush, or the green dog of the Highlands, was a strange and formidable creature that concerned many people of the area. It had a shaggy green coat, a plaited tail, roamed the moors, and it looked for victims. It was bigger than what? Oh, it was bigger than the largest living hound in that it was the size of a cow or a bull. That's a big dog. And in fact, from a distance, may have been mistaken for cattle. Okay, it says the most famous part of the myth here is the sound of the Kushi. It would let out a piercing, blood-curdling sound halfway between a bark and a howl. And wow, it says if you heard this sound, it was said that you had only until it barked a third time to seek cover and safety. Otherwise, it was your end. You were literally too terrified to live and your heart would burst in fear. Wow. So it's considered to be a fae dog or a fairy dog. And yeah, not something that you want to go messing with. Interesting. Okay. I don't know. Hopefully, y'all have not encountered any kind of blood curdling Kushi. OMG. All right. So, I know that there's a few of you who have other decks by Stacey Demarco. So, I kind of want to see if they're blendable. Okay? So, let's see. Let's just see if they're blendable. It's really about, it feels similar. The cards feel exactly the same as far as glossiness or whatever, but I'm thinking the cut on the corners here is a little bit different. I don't know if you can see. but this is kind of rounded. And this, it has like a little flatter edge right here. I mean, I don't really know how much of an effect it would have if you're shuffling. There's a slight difference. So let's see if her other decks are like that. Oh, this one's the same. Okay, so the elemental has the same, it's not as rounded as the Queen of the Moon. It does have that, like these, yeah, that matches perfectly. And then she has, and I have one more of her deck, the Divine Animals. You know, I probably could, Rob. And what I did notice with here, there are some cards that remind me of other cards of hers. Like I know the Divine Animals, I think it has an Anubis, and there's an Anubis here. So like if you blended them and both Anubis came out, you're like, dude, pay attention. Okay. So the Divine Animals does not have that flatter edge right here. So the Divine Animals would probably be best paired with Queen of the Moon, and then Elemental in this here. All right. In case anyone who was wondering, decks are blendable. All right. So this was the deck, and I'm excited, and I will be using it in my next series. I might actually be pairing it with, since it is, this season, I might be pairing it with one of my darker decks, my darker tarot decks, and just do maybe I'll do a shadow type reading. It's been a while since I've done a shadow series, the ones that I have in the dark. So I might do that. I don't know. I might think of something different. But I do want to use this deck. And I will take the Kushi seriously if it comes out. I promise. Oh my gosh, yeah, Totem would be cool too. What I really like about that Totem deck, Rob, is that it's like a tarot and an oracle deck all in one. Like even the court cards are like a little oracle card. I feel like I need three more. So was this deck like what you thought it would be? Was it deep enough, dark enough, dangerous enough for you? I like it. I think it definitely is darker than all of her other decks, which is nice. And I specifically like just the fact that she's pointing out that just because something is dark or mysterious or whatever doesn't mean that it's bad or evil, because there's so much truth in that. All right, so let's just see. What is the first card that wants to come out this deck? What is the first card that wants to say hi? All right, who wants to say hi to us? Oh, and I just got warm. Okay, take a breath. I just got warm. Who wants to say hi? Taking your time, aren't you? Ooh. The first card, it's card number 1, Shadow. Our Shadow wants to say hi. Beautiful. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so Shadow wants to say hi. What else? Is there anything else Shadow wants to say to us? It's almost like it wants to say, like, hey, Levy, I'm here. What else does Shadow want to say? The Hermit. All right, Virgos, pay attention. Virgo's like, yeah, I see you, Shadow. Oh, is Lucy here? Hey, Lucy. Oh, Seven of Cups. Oh, it's like let me count the ways. That's interesting. It's like let me count the ways. Like there are there's many roads, many paths, many results. Like there's options everywhere when you are when you're going in depth, when you're going into shadow, when you're working with shadow, that is actually really cool. Huh. All right, so just a little message. Is there anything else Shadow would like to tell us today? Two of Wands. Okay, so the Two of Wands in this deck really has some kind of has like kind of a gateway vibe, but it's something that's being illuminated here. And look, there's a white stag. You know, I saw it kind of reminds me of this show I watched where there was I mean, it was a little bit a fantasy, mythological kind of, but there was a certain person and they were a very protective energy, and they were they were not living, right? They were in the spirit world, but they always appeared as a white deer, and that's how you knew you were safe or good to go. So that's interesting. It's like our shadow is telling us that there's many ways to go about working with your shadow, and it's like the right path will always be like illuminated somehow. Do you want to come out or not? I think you do. All right, so Five of Cups. So this is like have no fear, like never fear. Never fear, y'all. Don't worry about it too much. Don't confuse yourself. It's like the shadow has open arms here. The shadow is willing to work with you. Yeah, just with this Five of Cups, this is that fear that a few of the cards in the deck was talking about, where it's like not everything dark is evil. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes we see shadow as something to be a little bit scared of it, like this Five of Cups, like no, 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 I don't want to go there. It's a big bad monster, like this big bad emperor or something. But that's not really how it is. It's not how it is. So our shadows are willing to work with us, and we'll be shown, I want to say gently how to do it, or safely. Very cool. All right, there's our little message. Thanks everyone for being here. This was super fun. I was really looking forward to opening up this deck. So hopefully you have a very awesome rest of your day, and I will see everyone later. I'll see y'all later. Bye.